So, I recorded this whole thing and it was muted. Great. Alright, so let me get back into it. So, this is a topic I've been thinking about for about 3 weeks or so. And I think right about now is the right time to discuss it as we're getting into the long game with this game. So, topic is 6-star process. Things need to change. And things I want to see change, things I don't want to see change. So, a couple things before I get into it. Number one, I've been reading all the dev notes and all the dev commentary and all that stuff, listening. And there's a couple things they're inflexible on in this game. One of them is not related to this topic. They don't like to completely define some of the character percentages on their skills because they don't want people creating a tier list, even though people create tier lists anyways. You know, that's their choice and whatever. But another thing that they're inflexible on is they do not want to add auto dungeon running. And I don't mean actually in the dungeon. I mean, you know, you do a dungeon. Okay, now I've done this dungeon before. I 3-starred it or I cleared it. No one died. Now I just want to run this dungeon with these units. And give me the XP, but I don't want to go through, and open the treasure chests, whatever's there, but I don't want to go through the tedium of having to click, for instance, well, I'll get into that later, but having to click the multiple times you want to click. So a lot of you are aware of the 6-star process in this game, and you might see from my table, it's kind of a tedious process, and it's kind of an annoying process, and I got into a discussion with a guy yesterday in the stream. And he was telling me about a game called Soccer Spirits, which is apparently the game that all these devs used to be on, program for, work for, however you want to say it. And they quit and they formed their own game studio and then they got this game. And the upgrade system is very similar. Extremely similar, actually, from what they tell me to this game. But in that game, there are 7-star characters. So you can imagine that process. Game's been out about 4 years. And so I was asking him, I'm like, well, damn, how long you been playing? 4 years. All right, how many 7-stars do you have? 16. So 4 years, 16 7-stars. So that's quite a process, right? But then he was telling me, it's like, you know, even though it's a process, it doesn't feel like a process because we can auto the dungeons. And so you can go to your limit of, you want to do this until you filled your inventory, or you want to do this till you level, you want to do this unless a character dies, etc. And in this game, we don't have those things. And the dev has been very clear on saying that he does not want to add auto to this game. Now, one of the issues with this game, let's get to the fodder units. So for instance, you saw that one of my fodder units at the table is actually leveled to his max currently. So, if you don't know how the fodder game works, essentially what you do is you run your characters with one character. In my case, it's usually Vildred, unless it's one of the other characters. You go ahead and take one of these phantasms, actually 2 of them, because they get an XP bonus, right? And so there's a couple different phantasms. There's Terror Phantasms, there's Giga Phantasms, and there is Mega Phantasms, and the Mega Phantasms have the worst XP rate, which coincidentally are also the ones we get the most. Now, the issue is, most of these you get at, well, some of them you get at 3-star, some of them you get at 4-star. Most of these guys you get at 2-star, which as you can see, here are my fresh ones right here, to which normally you come to promote them. And so if you're going to promote them, you know, you use your level 1, you know, random fodder units that drop, and you spend X amount of gold and whatever. Well, the problem is... Hold on, let me wait for this to be done. Alright, so now his max is 30, and I can level him to 30 as I run him around. You can either feed him penguins, which are finite, or you could run him with the XP bonus. Well... So the issue is getting a 6-star in this game. If you notice, I only have one 6-star. And part of that is... there was a point, for those of you who follow the stream and know me, you know, more well than just watching my videos, you know that for a month I had a process of moving from California to North Carolina. And I moved here, but then the movers screwed me back in California, so I had to eventually fly back after trying to get it done for a couple weeks. And basically spent a week driving across the country with my stuff so that I could get it all set up and be optimal. Well, so that was about a month of me not being able to play the game because I didn't have my computer. I could only play on my phone, and my phone, you know, I got lots of other things I'm trying to do, like get a job, etc. So I wasn't able to farm. I should have at least like 2 or 3, 5, 4, or 6 stars right now, but I don't. So that's just the way it is. Real life took precedent. But in the case, if I want, because haste is going to be my second 6-star, if I want to get another 6-star, I have to have 5 5-star fodders. And I'm not willing to sacrifice any of these heroes. So, in that case, what I have to do is I have to run the 2 stars to give them the 3-star. And then you got to run more 2 stars to get them to 3 stars, to feed to the 3 stars, to get the 4-star, and etc. until you get 5 5-star units. Which is a very long process in this game, about, well, hundreds of battles. I haven't actually counted exactly how many, but I know it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of battles. So it becomes a process, and then there's the whole promotion aspect and the time consumption, and it gets annoying. So what I normally do, like you see, I got this Correx veteran here. You know, you go to wherever you're farming. So in my case, I'm actually farming Keese's thing, because I need to finish up her currency missions. So what you do then is you find, either on the world map or on one of these maps, the hardest dungeon you can run without people dying. And you hit ready. So keep in mind all these clicks I've gone through, guys. So there's this click, then you select your friend unit. 3 clicks. Then I got my guy, but now I gotta switch this guy out because he's at max level. I'm not gonna promote him right now. So now I gotta go through all this. Hit the level button again, come down. You know, select one of these guys. Replace him, and I gotta do this for everything. When he hits 40, I'm gonna have to do it. When he hits 30, I'm gonna have to do it. And every time that guy hits 20, I gotta do it. And then I come over here and I hit start. Well, so then they run the dungeon, which there is an auto actually inside the dungeon. And it's nice, but it also punishes you because it runs by the treasure chests. Or like the buff things, like the health buff or whatever. And the devs have hinted that they're going to change that so that you'll pick up the treasure chest automatically, but they haven't done it yet, so who knows. Maybe they had a difference of opinion on that. So essentially, I can't just say like, yo, you know, do this dungeon until I run out of inventory space, or do this dungeon until the account levels, or whatever. Do this dungeon until I have no energy. And it's fine. It was fine at the beginning of the game, you know, when we were doing this and we were doing most of this stuff anyways. But now it's starting to feel like a jail sentence of, damn, in order to farm 6 stars for the rest of my account life, I'm gonna have to do this shit every fucking day. And hundreds of times. Maybe not per day, but you know what I mean. Like hundreds of times in order to get a freaking 6-star. And you gotta switch everything out, you gotta click on the dungeon, you gotta select your friend unit, you gotta click the post-fight stuff, cancel the friend request, etc, etc. And quite frankly, it gets old. This isn't fun, you know? And what's fun is running the characters, the actual characters that you have and that you've built up and that you've put your heart and soul into. But with this, it's just like, oh god, now I gotta go over here. Now I gotta hit the try again button. And now I gotta run it again, but now I gotta do this friend shit again. So I'm gonna select this and select this. Now I gotta check to see if everyone's maxed. Rather than having a process of, okay, run this dungeon until X, whatever. So, I've been thinking of possible suggestions because in this game, I still believe that a 6-star should be rare, and I'm fine with that. And it shouldn't be just a process of you get the character, you hit it with so much stuff, and you instantly have a 60, you instantly have a 6-star, you instantly have all the purple stars, you instantly have the specialty change if there is one, etc, etc. I still think that all that should be a process. Like, see, if I wasn't paying attention, I would miss that chest right there, and that's another punishment mechanic that's dumb in this game and that I don't like. So the devs argue that, well, but if we put auto in the game like that, then people will not value the dungeon so much, and this weird thing. So the suggestions I have, and I have 3 suggestions. So number one is obviously get rid of the stupid anti-auto policy that they have. And I agree that you shouldn't be able to just click and run the dungeon 100 times. It should still run the dungeon on like a timer or something like that. That's fine, but it should be something to where I don't have to click a million times in order to run a dungeon once and then do that times 100. Okay, because that's getting annoying. And it should automatically give you whatever the rewards are, whatever the loot drops were, and etc. And hopefully click all the things. But whatever, you know, the devs probably won't give you the latter part. But then, so if you don't want to do that, if you're inflexible on that, okay, fine. Number two, my second suggestion to you is create for us a dungeon that has specific charges that aren't stamina related, or, you know, if it's stamina related, it's not super punishing stamina related. Have it specifically geared to give a lot of XP. You can have it with a certain number of charges a day. And, you know, have it so that fodder units get more bonus XP from there, or something similar to that, because something that streamlines everything, that would be nice. Because it's just tedious. I hate doing this like dozens of times a day, hundreds of times. I hate doing this. It's annoying, it's dumb, there's other things I'd rather do. And yes, you can get, if you really want to focus on it, you can get a 6-star fodder in a couple weeks. But probably even less than that if you got the stuff going. But you basically have to sacrifice almost every other aspect of the game that uses stamina. So, like, you can still do your raids and your abyss and whatever, but then you can't go to hunt so much. You can't go farm the crystal stuff for the purple stars, etc. as much. You can't do events as much, and you have to kind of go back and forth, because we all know there's a stamina limit in this game. Now, that's my second suggestion. Come up with a specific dungeon so that we can do it. It's done. And if people choose to do bonus stuff, then that's on them. That's great. But we can do it and still have a good enough rate to get a 6-star. At the rate of, say, once a month. Something like that. That would be fine, because I don't want it to be too fast. Now, the third thing you can do, this is actually going to be complicated, and I highly doubt they'll do this one. Get us a way to streamline the promotion for fodder units only. Fodder units. So, what I mean by that, when a frog hits 30, or a wolf hits 30, or whatever, have it be like, hey, would you like to sacrifice, and you can set the parameters of, you want to sacrifice other phantasma, which is usually a bad idea, you want to sacrifice this specific fodder unit, these specific characters, which of course would be hard to program for, but something like that to where I don't have to freaking go out, because, like, if something hits max right now, you know, then I gotta go through all this crap. I gotta hit cancel on the friend request, I gotta go over here, I gotta click all the way back to fucking lobby, or I could come up here and click the heroes thing, click my folder, go through this. The little lag time here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't know if the game froze. Well, whatever. Hit the promote button. Here it is. Okay, I don't have to hit the promote button. Come over here. Find my promote fodder. Get it all in there. Hit that. Go back out. And of course, there's always a lag period when you upgrade things too. Go back out. Now I gotta click all that shit again just to go back to the dungeon. Or you could, like, fast click it there. And I gotta go back here, click this again. Or if I'm going out to the world, go back, find the world map, because they like to reset the world map. Hit all this stuff. And etc. You guys get the point. Okay, I gotta come back here. Like, there should be a fast way to, like, go back to where I was. Or go back to whatever I was doing. Hit my friend unit, come over here, make sure everything's good, hit that again. And it's just, it doesn't have to be that way, quality of life. It doesn't have to be that way. It needs to be better. It needs to be faster, and the process itself needs to be a little quicker. Now, once again, I'm not saying everyone should just instantly have a ton of 6 stars. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, this isn't fun. It needs to change. There needs to be something. Just something. Either something finite to where we can do it every day and it's done, or something more streamlined so that we get, because the giving these guys the XP bonus, that was a stroke of genius. That was really cool. I enjoy that. That was a good thing the devs did, but there needs to be something more because it's just too tedious to do this all the time, and this isn't fun. Like, I would rather run a party like this the majority of the time I'm playing the game than run a party like this and have to manually click into every dungeon, and oh, I passed the treasure chest, I gotta walk back. And oh, now this team's not good enough because, you know, my fodders are all dying and I can't farm this higher level thing and whatever. I think you guys get the point by now. So if you guys got any suggestions, let me know. And if you think I'm entirely full of it, let me know that too. Maybe there's a different reason, a different thing we could do. And that's just my suggestion for right now, guys. So let me know what you think about it, because honestly, this feels like a jail sentence sometimes. It's just like, go do the dishes, go take the trash out, except do it a couple hundred times. Like, that's what this feels like to me. So anyhow, I guess, yeah, that's it for this video. So I would do a promo. Haven't done a promo at all today, but I'll do it in the next video because I recorded another video without the sound off. Yay. But luckily it's shorter, so I'll catch you guys later on. Peace out.